Do you think this bike is still relevant in 2021?
I think it's okay. Now I think depends on whether you want a fully integrated stem or like if you do like cables. So if you are kind of okay, maybe I want cables, then but it's still disc brake, right? So it's still relevant. It's still running the standard Traxel standard. So it's definitely relevant in the current era.
Welcome back to another video, guys. Wow, I can't hear myself. Shit. Hello. Alistair, thank you so much for coming on my Rojak show.
No problem.
Actually, we were supposed to film your bike last week, but because it was raining, so we couldn't film.
No choice.
You have a Specialized Vios, Venge Vios.
Venge Vios Expert Disc 2017.
Oh, when did they discontinue the Venge Vios, or which model is this?
So they created the Venge Vios initially as a rim brake model. So after that, 2 years later, they made the disc brake model because of the brake rub from the original brakes. So I think they only made it for a few years before the 3rd gen Venge came out. So I think they ended quite late. Actually, I'm not too sure. So like maybe 2019 they probably stopped.
Right.
Yeah, but this is a 17 model in my case, and then it's in a size 52.
Yeah.
And
what's your height?
I'm 177. So okay, I'm probably a bit too tall for this, so I'm riding a bit of an undersized frame. But in this case, right, actually the Venge Vios has a pretty long geometry, so it actually fits quite close to a 54 tarmac in my case. Right. And then for the bike itself, running a 6800 Ultegra. So it's because it's a 2017 model. Back in the day, there's no Ultegra lever levers. So this was a RS lever, and then as you can see, it's a 6800 group set. And then looking through my group set also, I'm running a ALDHU Roto Aldo carbon crank, and then the size is 52/36, and then the crank arm is actually 170 mm. Yes, and then when you go, the wheel set is a Hyper 65 disc, and then I'm running the Aishima AI2 rotos because actually it's quite light, super light, and then it's quite reasonably priced. And then the finishing kit, I'm running this Brooks Cambium C13 cuff saddle. So this was something I used from my Brompton, so quite comfortable so I got the road version of this. So it's pretty light, it's all carbon. And then the stem is an MV Aero stem, running 100 mm length, and then the bars is a Aerofly Hover. I think the 1st gen Aerofly. So the width is 420. So it's a hover bar, so actually adds 25 mm worth of stack. So it's sort of like a riser bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the introduction. This bike, to me, looks like a Frankenstein bike.
Yes, a bit.
Because the group set is mixed with this Rotor Aldo.
Yes.
You've got I think that's a China OSPW.
Yes, China's OSPW.
And then you have this Brooks saddle, which was from your Brompton.
Yes.
And you have expensive stem, and this stem is not cheap. How much is this stem? $300, $400?
400 plus when I got it with the mount.
Wow. Yes, just now when we were talking offline, you said you own various bikes.
Yes, has many different bikes.
Right, and you've owned the SL7, SL6.
Yes.
Now this weird bike.
Yes.
Can you tell us the process? Why do you get this, and how much do you pay for this?
So the process. So I when I first started cycling, right, the first bike that I saw when I was riding a very lousy road bike, right, I saw was a Specialized Venge. So I didn't know it was a Specialized, I just know it's a very cool bike. So as time goes on, then I went to research and realized, actually it's a Venge. So I was very interested to getting this. And then for me, I never got the chance to get a Venge Vios. So it's a bike that I really wanted to have experience with. So that's why I decided to get it. That being said, I had newer bikes before. I had my SL7 and SL6, which are way younger. I think they're less than... The SL7 is one of the latest bikes out there. So in my case, I got this bike because I really like the shape. So the shape is it's a bit Marmite. You like it or you don't. You can see the rear is quite similar to the current dropstick stay, current modern design, but the front is a bit curvy. So it's a bit Rojak also a bit of a Rojak kind of design. But it was a time where Specialized really did a lot of wind tunnel testing. So it took them, I think, 4,000 over hours just to do the design. And then because of the effort they did, right, this is still more aero than a lot of the aero bikes currently. I think it's only recently beat by the System 6. Yeah, System 6. So yeah, for my case, I'm not a fast rider, so it's just marketing speak, but I really like the bike a lot.
Right, so and this bike looks very heavy. What is the weight?
I never measured, but I think I would assume it's about 8.5 kilos.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 8.5 kilos. With everything on, maybe now it's about 10 kilos.
Holy shit,
yes.
That is a heavy ass bike.
Correct. But I think okay lah.
Can you climb with this bike?
I'm not a climber, so if I can make it up the hill, then I can make it up lah. So
Do you need to dismount and start pushing your bike?
No. So far so good. I still don't it. But
Right.
I can feel the weight some days when like my legs a bit tired, then you just want to go easy spin, but the weight just pulls you back. I can feel but to me it's okay. I've ridden heavier bikes before. I think my Giant Propel disc that I had back then also was way heavier than this.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you have the SL7, right?
Yes.
So you've ridden the SL7, which is the current latest Blink now, and compared to this one, what's the take? This or SL7? I mean,
Okay.
it's a stupid question, no brainer.
It's a question a bit controversial and also probably going to get me grilled lah. So okay, for me SL7 is a bit of a not here, not there kind of bike because it is. The Venge was a very aero bike, right? Then the Tarmac is their coming model. So when it came out, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna try it lah because it was a reasonable price when I bought it. And then when I got it, I realized that it doesn't achieve the thing that I want. It's not as comfortable as an SL6, nor is it as aero as the Venge lah. So for me, I decided to sell it off because of that. Because I didn't really feel very passionate riding it. So
Okay.
then also my thinking is, if you wake up you don't feel like riding the bike, then the bike is not for you. So I decided to sell it off.
Can I put my opinion here?
Can, no problem.
I don't like it because okay, I won't say I don't. I don't fancy the frame. I think it's like
Yes.
very funky. You've got these weird curves here, and then this looks like a pretzel. It's like like
yes.
wrinkled up here, and
Correct.
this part reminds me of the headset of Williams Roubaix. You know, William, your cycling friend,
Yes,
William.
yes, yes.
I filmed his bike, and this
Yes.
part, has the suspension on his bike. So
and
this
the
part
Future
looks
Shock.
very similar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that, right? Okay, so Venge Vias actually, the people that know Venge Vias, right? When it came out, it was a fully integrated bike. So it came with a very turtle-looking stem, so that's why it was a very curvy look. However, I think a lot of people was complaining about the maintenance. So towards the closer end of the production run, they created those holes. Yeah. So in my case, mine is a mechanical group set. So that's why now the cap is like a bit of not here, not there kind of design. So I think they didn't really go into. So it looks like this teardrop looking design over here. You see the spacer cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's not as aero looking, but it was meant to be very aero when it's fully integrated.
Right.
Now this is a compromise, I believe. That
Okay.
So it did.
Two questions. So what do you like about this bike first?
What do I like about the bike? Okay, because I don't have a power meter and I'm not a professional rider. So for me, I feel that I can feel the aero benefits on places like West Coast Highway or TMCR. So my friends did feedback to me that when I'm pulling and then they're drafting behind, it does hold speed very well. And I can feel that also because I think the minute you reach 35 and 40, it really just goes. So that's the thing that was missing for me in my SL7. I didn't feel that be able to maintain kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's what I really like about it, being able to maintain speed very well. And then the second thing I like about the bike is that it's something that not many people have now these days. Because nowadays the bikes, they look quite similar, right? All they have very similar job stay, the design. And so the controversial part of the design is also something unique, which is why I like it. So yes.
Do you think this bike is still relevant in 2021?
I think it's okay. Now I think it depends on whether you want a fully integrated stem or like if you do like cables. So if you are kind that maybe I want cables, then but it's still disc brake, right? So it's still relevant. It's still running the standard Traxel standard. So it's definitely relevant in the current era. And then as I said earlier, after a lot of testing they have done, right? Actually, there was this German magazine that did testing, right? This is still more aero than a lot of the current new aero bikes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is. So I think the numbers was, I think the System 6 only beat it by 1 watt. Then the rest of them was like 6 or 7 watts difference.
Wow.
But that's like I don't know how to quantify also but that was the testing
Right.
But in my experience of trying so many bikes and having had a few aero bikes, this is the most, to me, the best all-rounder kind of bike. Yes.
What do you not like about this bike?
The weight.
The
As
weight.
you mentioned, the weight. It's because I think weight is quite divisive So sometimes a lighter bike will make you climb faster and everything, right? But in my case, I'm not going to get any KOM and I'm very heavy, so probably faster to lose weight on myself than the bike itself. So the weight will be a thing. But I think pretty much.
Any more upgrades, or you're just gonna sell this bike away?
I'm going to keep the bike. So my idea one day is to own all 3 generations of Venge.
Wow.
If I have the space, one day I really want to own all 3 because I'm a huge Venge fan. And if any upgrade, maybe, actually I wanted to do the Venge Vias, the full integration cockpit. Because I think it won't be a Vias without the full integration. So one day I'll do that, and then maybe I'll change to electronic group set. But still waiting for the prices to drop, but I think it's not going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, so probably it will take a while.
Since you're going to be opening your own Venge museum, I don't think you have my Venge model yet,
Yeah,
right?
I don't have.
Do you want to buy my Venge?
If you give me a good price, then we will
No
talk
good
about
price
it.
lah. Actually, someone did offer me to buy
Yes,
over my
yes.
bike at a cost price. The thing is, I didn't want to sell because I don't have a bike, and then now with bike shortages,
Right.
everything is going to be very difficult,
Yes.
and I need to redo the whole setup, which is going to be very troublesome. That's why I decided to let go the offer.
Yes.
And I love my bike, man. I love it.
Please keep it. They really stopped production for no reason. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I really think that it's a bike that's worth keeping.
But the last time I called up T3, they
Yes.
said that they are still selling the frames,
Yes,
but they
yes.
only sell it as a complete bike setup. So meaning you have to buy the group set, the wheels, everything from them. But the frame set alone, I think they quoted me 6,900 something, almost to 7,000.
damn high price.
It's expensive,
Very
man.
expensive compared to what I believe you paid for, right?
I paid 5,001 second hand.
Oh.
Yeah, which I think also is very expensive.
No lah, I think it's reasonable for what it is lah, right? Reasonable, right?
I don't know, man, because
Yes.
which I've mentioned in my other videos is that the condition when it came in was pretty bad. It was
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
scratched
correct,
and it
correct.
wasn't really in pristine condition. So
Yes.
some people might say that I paid overpriced, but I'm very satisfied with it. I just didn't like the color, but I mean I ride it almost every time. So the more I look at it, I just
the
got
more
used to it.
get used to it.
Yeah, yeah. One more last thing
Yes.
is this bar, this is Cyclovation, right?
Okay, no. Okay, so the bar tape, Cyclovision bar tape is very expensive, and to me it's a wear and tear item, so I didn't consider. So I bought this quite close copy. It's called. You go Shopee, go and find this brand called Light Skin. It's like, I think only $13.
Okay.
1-3.
But it's so slippery. Doesn't it get very
yes.
slippery during the wet or when you sweat?
Yeah. Okay. So I wear gloves, so for me not a big problem. I think, but if let's say those guys who don't wear gloves, then maybe it'll be a bit slippery lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me it's okay.
Have you tried riding it in the wet and does it slip?
I tried, and yeah, a bit slippery.
Oh, it's quite dangerous, man. I mean,
Yes,
it's
yes,
so
definitely.
glossy.
So I would suggest that if you use this kind of bar tape, wear a glove.
Okay.
You wear glove. That's the best.
I know I forgot to post the Instagram questions, so thank you everyone, and thank you for spamming this to all your groups to submit questions.
Oh, problem.
You
Anything
got
for
a
you,
lot
man.
of questions. Thank you, thank you.
Anything for you.
Thank you so much. Okay, actually there are still Instagram questions coming in because I haven't deleted it yet. Let me
Okay.
save it first before I lose all this.
Okay.
So you guys want to submit your Instagram questions, you can follow me on Instagram and you can submit your questions. So Alistair, the first question from me, the handlebar looks like wings. Where do you want to fly to?
As fast as my bike can bring me and my legs can bring me. You know, this was done because they wanted to raise the stack for the bike.
Why?
So,
Why would they want to raise the stack?
I think because they probably understood that not everybody is a pro lah. So they give a different fit option. So there's a flat bar and then there's a hover bar
Okay.
to raise the thing, so everybody can ride.
Right.
Yeah. Or then the looks a bit, you know, some like it, some don't lah. For me, it's a comfortable thing lah.
Yeah.
So I take it lah.
Okay. Why the blue bar tape of all colors?
Why the blue bar tape? Actually, I bought this bar tape for my SL7, but then I sold my SL7, so last happened I need to change the bar tape, so that's the only one I have. So I
Yeah.
just use whatever I have.
Why not slam that stem?
Wow, uncommon question, right? Why not stem the stem? I think if you are a very young person and you ride every day, then maybe if you are racing, then maybe stemming the stem might be good for you lah. But for me, I'm a weekend rider, so I cannot lah. My back cannot take it lah. I want to
okay.
enjoy the ride and not to look good lah. So,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Where do you find this frame?
I found it on Carousel, so I bought it initially without the hyper wheels, and then it wasn't without this crank also lah. So but because it was quite hard to find a specialized bike now, minimally you need to pay about 4,000. So I managed to find this for 3,500. So
Okay.
I thought it was a reasonable price. I
Alright.
decided to get it.
The rear looks chunky with two bulky lights and the cam. Have you considered a more sleeker light instead?
Sleeker light, okay. I think sleeker light. I think this light quite sleek already. This is actually made for Aero seat post. This is a Night Rider Sentry Aero. So it's very bright. In the night you can definitely see me. There's a lot of flashing options. Then from the side there are reflectors so it's very, very bright. Yeah, I have one more light at my saddle here. Then this is the camera lah. Everybody popular camera, right? The 2 cycling
Yeah,
camera,
yeah.
So quite good for safety purpose these days.
Essentially, you have 3 lights.
Yes.
The camera has 1 light,
Yes.
and you have the saddle light and one on the seat post.
Yes.
Super bright, man.
Yes.
What is the hype level of the hyper wheels?
They have done very good marketing lah. So you can see they really reach out to all the influencers on Instagram and YouTube, right? So everybody is riding. But as a functional piece of equipment, it works So far so good. I mean, it's not more than 1 year old yet. So as of now, first impression still pretty good. Long term reliability, I'm still up in the air.
Right.
But performance wise, definitely an improvement over what I had previously. In terms of holding speed, But in terms of getting up to speed, it's a deep wheel. You cannot escape the dragginess of a deeper wheel compared to a lighter wheel. So.
Why ride Specialized?
Why ride Specialized? Okay, so as I said probably earlier in the video, because for me, when I was riding, my first road bike was a Polygon. So I was at a park connector in Ulu Pandan. Then I saw this guy zoom past me on a Specialized bike. So from that day, I thought myself, okay, I must buy one. So the next week, I sold away my Polygon. I went to a shop and then I got a second-hand Specialized. So from there on, I realized, hey, it fits me well and the quality is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's like the best of the best, right? But for me, it works well, and if you want to sell, it's easy to sell. So to me, two things are enjoy and can sell at the end. Why not? And upgrade. Yeah.
That's why I bought a Specialized SL6 because I know in Singapore, Specialized is a brand that you cannot go wrong. Everybody wants to buy a Specialized. So you buy it, you can always still sell it.
Yes.
How does the oversized pulley wheel system feel?
Okay, I think it's one controversial topic. Everybody likes to talk about it. Okay, actually, honestly speaking, right, performance-wise, I don't think it does anything. Let's be honest. The 1-2 watt saving that they say I probably wouldn't experience it. I'm not racing. So, and then in terms of shifting and everything, right? Okay, I think there's two sides of this. Okay, if let's say your bike is new, your group set is new, right? Changing this OSPW won't really improve your shifting. It doesn't. But let's say if your drivetrain is old, like in my case, my jockey wheels, everything a bit worn out, my cage also a bit worn out. I decided, okay, one shot, change everything. So that's why there's an improvement there. But if you talk about real world performance, go out there and get plus 5 kilometers per hour, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yes.
Okay. White bike, is it difficult to keep it clean? Or did it turn a bit yellowish?
Okay, so yeah, it's white, a bit a cream color. So say it's a bit like cream color. So why white bike? Okay, very simple. The black version of this Venge Vice is still going for at least 7K in the second market. So when this bike has been there for a while, this color. So I believe the white color is the main issue. So that's why I got it cheap. Yeah, my mind was thinking if one day I want to repaint it, at least can repaint it easily. I mean, I saved 3,500 for the repaint already, so I must use for repaint. And yeah, it's very true. It's very hard to maintain in terms of in Singapore roads. Sometimes you go past puddles and it starts to stain. So yeah, but I'll clean it. I love my bike a lot, so I still clean it.
Okay.
yes, I still clean it.
Why no Venge stem and why not a full integration?
Okay, so this one, okay, I got to explain. So actually, I did try to get the stem, but this is the older model, right? So trying to get the parts for it is very difficult. And I tried asking Specialized Singapore. I email one of the dealers to ask for it, and they haven't been able to get it for me. Okay. But eventually, one day I still want to do it. It's just that I need to find a way to import in the headset and everything, the parts. Okay. So stay tuned. You'll be here one day.
I think this is your friend. He said Alistair told me to roast him. So why is the Specialized logo facing up?
Okay. Thanks for supporting and asking me questions. Okay. Why is it facing up?
This part,
right? Okay. So
why is it not here?
Why is it not here, right? Okay, I think this is the funny part. This experimentation phase for Specialized, I think. So only the S-Works ones, mostly the S-Works ones came with the S-Works here, very big. And then in this case, I think they want to do a plain design. So this one came in two colors. There's one in dark grey. Also is in the middle one. Maybe they just want to. For people who don't like to have the big dash, maybe that could be the reason I can think of.
Then why did you not get the normal Venge? Not the Vios, the Venge.
The Venge that you have?
The one that has, yeah.
Okay, so very simple, the price. Because the price has been going up. If you notice, I say, I'll blame COVID, but yeah, 2 years ago when you go Carousel, the bike that you have, I think you were saying you can get 5K frame, everything. But nowadays there are worse condition frames for 5K. The full bike is like 15K. I don't know whether you want to spend so much on a used bike. So I decided not to get it because I will wait it out until it's a bit older, then eventually I will want to get it. Okay. So that's my goal. Yes.
That's about all the questions that we have. I think we're running out of time as well. Anything else you want to top up on your bike?
No, nothing much. Please support him. Like, share, subscribe.
This is the special one. Subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, Alistair.
No problem.
Hope to see you with another Venge. Yes. Hopefully it's the new Venge that you will have.
Yeah, then we can go ride again.
Then together. You can open your Venge museum and then we all can come and visit you.
Hey, nobody wants to see my bike.
Don't worry, people here on my channel like to see all these kind of things. They will come and watch. Okay, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.